I'm going to take you back to the basics, but for decluttering our makeup collection, we're going to do it together. Now, I'm actually currently doing it right now, so I'm bringing those videos back to the channel, and we're going to go category by category, and we're cleaning it out. But I also thought I would give you 5 of my top declutter tips when it comes to the makeup collection, because these are actual questions that I actually asked myself. And as I'm going through my makeup, I'm deciding what stays and definitely what goes. So tip number 1. How are you going to actually store your makeup? That is going to help in your mind decide subconsciously what is going to stay and what is going to go. Because you're going to look at that area in which you're going to store your makeup, and let's say it's a very small area, and let's say you have a huge makeup collection. That's going to help you kind of be like, no, I don't need all this because I'm only working with this small square footage. But then let's say you have, well, some people have a whole room to themselves, or some people might have their own storage desk, so their vanity in which they sit at. So they may use those drawers and the pull-out drawer, for example, to store their makeup. Some people are very visual, so you want to see everything on top of a desk, for example. And you might feel, if I see it, that's how I'm going to use it. Even though I feel I'm a visual person, I don't want everything out in the open, because to me, I feel that it looks very cluttered and very messy. So I prefer to, say, walk into a room and have everything in a furniture unit. So I have everything stored in an armoire. You open it up and it's kind of like a store. Open the 2 doors. Little Sephora at home. So that's what I chose to do. But I specifically chose this unit, this storage device, to house my makeup, because in my mind, I said, if it starts to get over flooded from this storage unit, no, that's going to be too much. So see where I mean as far as how to store it and where you store it. That is going to help you perhaps stop overflowing with cosmetics or skincare or hair care, wherever you're going to put into that unit. Definitely tip number 1, figure out where you're going to put your items and figure out how you're going to store them. Then let's start to rewire our brain, in a sense, to make sure we do not overflow out of that area. Tip number 2, what kind of a makeup user are you? What I mean is, how do you wear your makeup every time you wear it? For myself, so I asked myself this question, I like to change my makeup every single time I wear it. To me, I feel that is a way I can touch my makeup, and as much makeup as possible. Let's say you have a large collection, but you only see yourself pulling items out of your collection that you tend to always wear every time you do your makeup. Well, if you are that type of a makeup user, and you know you are, why hold on to all the other makeup? Why hold on to all the other colors? Let's say you are a neutral lover. Why hold on to all the colors of whatever makeup you have? Let's say you don't have a lot of time. You have a large collection and you wear the same makeup each and every time. Why hold on to all that extra makeup? It's just going to sit there and spoil, and it's just taking up room. Do you see what I mean? So ask yourself, what type of a user are you? And I mean, you got to ask yourself this, and then you got to stick with it. Because I feel if I was the type of makeup user and I wore the same makeup each and every time, and it goes with my lifestyle, it goes with my time frame, whatever, my job, my profession, I don't need all this other stuff behind me. Maybe I bought it and it's sitting around, and you know, it is what it is. It's there, but I'd say don't feel guilty about it. Once you know what type of a makeup user you are, stay with that and you're happy with it. Get rid of everything else. Think again subconsciously, you're going to rewire yourself, your brain, and you're going to be, I don't need all this extra items. And it's going to help you as we go into the next step, as far as to get rid of all that extra waste. Tip number 3. I store my makeup by the year. And what I mean by that is I go by the year that I either purchased it or it was given to me. So for example, by the brand and PR. My sorting by the year happened by accident. See, I'm telling you, some of my greatest discoveries I feel are by sheer accident. As makeup was just coming in, I was using my storage like a rolling cart, and each drawer was for the category. So one drawer is lipsticks, the next one would be foundation, whatnot. And I was deciding, am I going to keep it? Am I going to do a video? What am I going to do? But I needed to touch and look at those items. I also could remember right then and there, it just so happened to be what month or what year those products were coming in. So when I first started to do the Declutter series for the channel, I just started to say to myself, okay, the items that were prior to what is in this cart, rolling cart, I'm going to look at those first because they've been in there the longest, and I'm going to start there. Then I'm going to turn to the rolling cart and start clearing that out. But then when 2018 came in January, and I got that eye infection from that eyeliner, okay? I got eye infection from that eyeliner, and I didn't remember when I actually got that eyeliner from. And that's when I said, okay, this is so important to store by the year, even so, because when I get to the eyeliners to declutter, I know that all of these eyeliners that were before 2016 are gone. I'm not even going to bother touching them, putting them on my eyes, any of that, because I'm not going to risk getting another infection. So that is how I prefer to do it now. It's going to be not only a visual reminder for me, but it's just going to really make it easy for future declutters. I already know by the year, walk up to this drawer, oh, gone. I don't even have to touch it. So it's just going to make everything go much quicker. This will be good also if you're someone who really goes by the strict guidelines, like on the back of the packaging, keep this palette for 2 years or keep this powder for a year. You know, that would help you. Now, if you have a very small collection, there's probably no point in storing by the year because you're going to see everything. You're going to probably go through your products. I still use the rolling cart for the years, by the way. But when I see the drawer, let's say I open it up and it's foundation, and I look at it, and let's say the drawer could have maybe 5 foundations in it. To me, I think, okay, it's 2018. You've got 5 foundations, like bottles, not samples, in your drawer. Do you need to go out and get another one? Let's say the next hottest item comes out. Do you really need to? Because you've got already 5 here. You see what I mean? It in a way, it stops me from going out and wanting to pursue whatever category just happens to be there. I feel not only is it going to help with future declutters for you, it will also maybe help you as far as getting you to step back, look at what you already have for that year or even the prior year, and make that conscious decision as far as, do I really need that item? My next tip is I do not wear my makeup, nail polish, even clothing based on the season or the holiday or the special occasion. I recommend to get that out of your mindset. This also touches on the what kind of a makeup user am I? Okay, if I'm someone that likes to wear my makeup differently every single day, well, that probably won't go based on the season. When you keep your mindset based on colors by season, it's a trap. This is something that is taught to us at a very young age. So we grow up with that mindset, and it also hinders us from being creative and exploring. So staying in a comfort zone and staying in that tunnel vision is very much a part of our lives. But if you can break through it and feel, okay, I want to branch out, and also not be so concerned what others would think about you perhaps wearing black nail polish, for example, in June. I have a client. We were talking about this, and we're in her home. And she brought me into her room. She has a room where all her makeup is in and all her clothes, you know, go around the room. And she opens this drawer. It's all her nail polish baskets, you know, closure baskets. And I go, wow, that's a big nail polish collection. And she said, okay, well, it's this season, so I'm going to wear pink. I believe it was like going into summer. We were in her kitchen, and when she opened her fridge, I noticed she had polish in her fridge. And I asked, why is your polish in your fridge? And she said, oh, those are the reds and browns and a couple bottles of black for October. And I go, why are those in there? And she said, well, I can't wear it now because it's not fall. So I said to her, I go, what happens if you don't come home? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, think about it. What if you didn't come home? Because especially nowadays, we can walk out of our house and something can happen. I mean, look at the world we live in. I said, what if you didn't come home? Something happened and all of your browns and your December Christmas reds, all of that is sitting in the fridge waiting for you. It's like I can open up her fridge and tell the nail polish, she ain't coming home. Sorry, she ain't coming home. And it's just sitting in there rotting. So I told her, I go, I'm living now. That's how you should live. You should live now. If you want to wear red, I mean, look, I got red lipstick on. If you want to wear red lipstick, if you want to wear red nail polish, and it's June, who cares? Wear it. Don't wait until December 1st or Christmas to wear red. Do it now and enjoy it, especially if it makes you happy. This is, of course, my opinion, and I told her that. This is how I live. I kid you not. Afterwards, she said every time she opened that drawer and she saw her polish, she thought of what I said. And she pulled out a brown or she pulled out a red, and it's summer. And she said she was happy. Like she had on a dress, you know, and went with whatever she happened to be wearing that day. And it got to the point where she said, I'm taking the polish out of the fridge and I'm putting it in, you know, the little missing spot from where she had her collection. Enjoy whatever season it is. Enjoy the occasion. Be happy. Enjoy that color. You're living now. Don't put it off. Live that day as if it is your last. My last tip, number 5, is what I just consider cleanup, so to speak. This is where I look at my items and I think, okay, I use this item a lot. For example, CoverGirl Total Tease mascara. So I change it every 4 months. Well, I'm not going to remember. I'm not going to write it on the calendar. I am not going to remember. So I just have it. I have an iPhone. So I just put it on my Mac, and it talks, of course, to my calendar on my phone, and it repeats every 4 months. I don't have it ending, and it just tells me change the mascara. What I recommend is to kind of go through those items. Changing my brush head for my Clarisonic. That is, I rotate it every 4 months as well. So I get a calendar alert. Then I know, toss it, change with a new one. Also under cleanup is kind of miscellaneous items is what I think of. And this is where my desk comes into play with the drawers that are very specific. So I think about, I have my items. I had mentioned in a prior video, I have a few items that I use each and every time I do my makeup. Each and every time, without a doubt. That one little step makes all the difference, but I never talk about it. So it's in that drawer right next to me. So I can pull it out and it's right there. and then shut the drawer. So that drawer has those specific items. They also have my items that I like, my tools, my eyelash curlers in there, the lash tweezers, my tweezers for the brow hairs, those specific tools, spatula. I have all that right there organized right within reach, so I don't have to get up and go get it. And below that drawer is the items that I feel I need to make sure that I am looking at, like touching, because those items are going to go bad quick. So I think of like cream products, like cream blush sticks, or in a compact, just something that I know I'm not going to remember to grab it from the main furniture unit, grab it from this drawer because it's right here by me, and I will start to remember by seeing it. I also have my liquid highlighters in there. Again, something where it's such a small step, but if I don't see it, I'm going to forget. So it's all kind of in that drawer. And then also, like a third item that's in that drawer are my items that I'm noticing that I'm hitting pan on. So that little metal circle, I'm seeing the rings. So I toss those items in there. So as I pull off the drawer, I can think, oh, well, I'm almost done with that. I'm excited, I'm almost done with that, so let me go ahead and start using it up. So I have those items in there. And the last drawer is a specific drawer for my colorful eyeshadows. And the reason why I have those right there, right near me, is because of how I actually store all my other palettes. And those palettes, because they're so colorful, they have like everything in there. They're kind of, they got lost in the storage of the main eyeshadow palettes. So I said, let me put them right here. So as I'm using something else and I want a pulling color, I just pull out that drawer and pick what palette I want. And it actually has helped me not only use those colorful palettes, but just kind of keep them all together. I also keep in there the, for example, Distortion palette from Urban Decay, and I have another Transforming palette, so it will change your shadows. See, that's something where if I don't see it, I'm not going to think to use it as much. So I have all that right there. So I pull it out. If I want to change how something looks, I know what palette to pick out. Or if I just want to do something with a lot of glitter, I know what palette to pick out because it's right there. I don't have to get up and rifle through and search it. Now that is actually on the right side of the desk. On the other side of the desk is kind of very much specific as well. I have just stuff, again, I'm thinking I don't want to get up. If I have to get up, I'm probably not going to use it, so I'll kind of keep it really closer to me. So the top drawer has all of like my moisturizers that I like to mix in with my foundations, and a lot of the samples are in there. And then just my cotton pads, some Q-tips, just stuff that's more complexion specific. Then the middle drawer is going to be pretty much just for the eyes. So I have like my eye primers in there, what concealers I use as eye primers, eyebrow products too, just kind of miscellaneous items. A lot of those items are actually going to be almost coming due as far as an empty, but it's everything for the eyes. So I remember, oh, if it's for the eyes, prep wise, it's going to be right there too, and a couple of tools. Then the last drawer below it is kind of almost like a junkie drawer. Do you remember having a junkie drawer when you were a kid? I did. It was like that drawer where you just threw everything in. That one drawer. It's kind of like that. So that drawer has like all my eyelash glue. It has the eyelashes that maybe I want to wear for the week. It's just kind of that, I don't want to get up again, but I need some place to put these items. So I just kind of have that in there. But it's not junky, it's all organized. And it's been working for me, and it's been working for about over a year as far as how I've organized those specific drawers. And of course, when I turn is where all the main makeup is stored. And then that is how, when I'm going to show you per category, as I start to declutter and film that, show you what was there, what was in the drawers, and of course, what's going completely by the years. So I will show you that, and we'll dig deeper and go from there. I have a lot, but I want these bags out of here. And I do hope that not only the tips given kind of gives you a little bit of an idea if you are in a declutter mode as well, and how you want to store your products, or change perhaps your mindset about how you wear your makeup in the seasons and so forth. Was I a little bit harsh? Was I harsh on the whole season? I kind of feel like perhaps I was being like a mom. Thank you very much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Hope you all have a wonderful day or evening. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.